Welcome, families. I think you're in for a real treat. Our third graders have been very, very hard. Presentation. They do a phenomenal job. So I know that you're going to love it. So we'll turn it over to Ms. Jakes and Ms. Cummins.
Okay, thank you very much. We are very excited to have second graders here too, because you are going to get to hear the third graders play the same songs, mostly the same songs that you heard in the middle of the year, plucking, right, pizzicato. But now you're going to get to hear them play those same songs with the bow. So the first half of the year we were doing a lot of like steps to how to hold the instrument, how to put fingers down, how to play the different songs. And the whole second half of the year has been learning how to use the bow, how to shape a bow hold, how to control different aspects of the bow. And the first thing you're going to hear actually is a warm-up with us using little bows in the middle, which was our first thing, learning how to control just a small amount of bow in the middle and make it sound good. So here are some warm-ups on the A string and the D string using little bows in the middle. The first thing we're going to do before we even do our warm-ups, though, is shape a beautiful bow hold. And you might see some people doing this in between songs later, too. So we're going to make it horizontal, hang our fingers gently over the stick, put the pinky on top, which is an extra, tricky thing to do, and then make it vertical and add our thumbs. And we have this kind of balanced bow hold where we're not squeezing it, but we've got the right shape. Grab the shoulder, then you go on the A string. It's going to be copycat on little bows. Because it's really a bowing song. You're going to hear the big group playing Everybody Stop Stop rhythm on the A string and then switching to the D string back and forth. But this song is also called Back and Forth for another reason. It goes back and forth between the rhythm that's being played by the big group and a very smooth, lyrical, melodic line that's being played by our soloist and Mrs. Jakes. So the back and forth song is going to go back and forth between the A string and the D string over here, and back and forth between our rhythm, Everybody Stop Stop, and a very beautiful melody over there. We hope you enjoyed the back and forth song. You might remember from the first concert, we played them together, and the reason we can do that is they are partner songs. They have kind of the same rhythm, even though they have different notes. So we're going to combine them now. This side of the room is going to start with Hot Cross Buns. That side of the room is going to start with the dad song, and when Mrs. Jakes and I switch places, the students are going to switch which song they're playing. So you'll hear two versions of the combo. See if you can hear both songs both times. Everybody add your vote on. Get ready with two fingers. I'm very impressed with the control they have with the bows. To do short little bows and make still a very lovely sound is tricky. And also to stop your bow and make sure it doesn't make extra sounds in between notes is also just as tricky as actually making a good sound when you want it. So you just heard all of our songs that have little bows in the middle. We are now going to expand the amount of bow we're using. So we're going to use almost the full bow. We call these big bows. And we'll do some warm-ups on the big bows to prepare us for Twinkle, which uses those bigger, longer bows. So here are some big bow warm-ups. Land your bow here at the front. I'll be my four big names. near the tip and like seesaw over to another string without making any extra sounds. But it's a great warm-up for Twinkle because we've got some of those inside of Twinkle. So our version of Twinkle goes like this. You'll hear the whole group playing the melody of Twinkle. Then you'll hear a solo version that's called the obligato that just is like a fancy version of the melody with lots of extra notes in it. And then you'll hear the whole group play the melody with the obligato on top. So you'll hear a combination that third time through. So twinkle, twinkle, little star. taking lessons for some time already, so she's we gave her some extra fancy things to do in the concert. But I really think that the bowing of the whole group has developed so amazingly since when we started in February. We have one more song to present to you, and it is a fiddle tune. The official name of this fiddle tune is Boil Them Cabbage Down. We just call it the Cabbage Song. And you're going to hear the whole group play two versions of this song back to back. The first version is very plain, just the notes, no fancy rhythms. The second time we play it, right after the plain version, we're going to play with a bowing that sounds a little more fiddle style that we call strawberry raspberry. So see if you can hear when we're switching from the plain version to the strawberry raspberry. After you hear the whole group play their plain and strawberry raspberry cabbage song, you'll hear June and Mrs. Jakes have a little bit of a fiddly solo in the middle. And then we will join them on the last time through, the group playing the song and with a little bit of a fancy fiddle solo over there. So enjoy the Cabbage Song. I know there's a lot of behind the scenes work that we don't always see. So we just shared with you our work, but I just also want to acknowledge the work that goes on at home. And I also just wanted to acknowledge the work that the third grade teachers do to make this all work as well. So thank you to everybody who helped. Second graders, I hope you were kind of inspired by hearing what the end of the year finished product looks like with all the songs with the bow, and that you're kind of thinking about if this might be something that you want to do next year. This might be you up here playing for the next second grade next year. So we look forward to seeing some of you next year on violin and viola. And I think what we'll do is we'll have second graders dismissed first, because I have a couple things that I just want to say to the parents before we wrap up today. So second graders, you're going to watch your teacher for what happens next. And you guys